With the iPhone 12 coming out in a few weeks, I wanted to take a look back at my experience with the iPhone XR and see if it's worth it in 2020, because Apple did drop the price one more time on this device and is now $499, only $100 more than the iPhone SE. So I wanted to see if it's going to be worth it to spend that extra $100 and get the XR over the SE and see how it is in 2020. So let's take a look at why I chose the iPhone XR. Overall, I wanted to save money, I wanted a decent camera, and I wanted a good sized phone that had a large screen but also was smaller than the iPhone 7 Plus, which was the device I was coming from at the time. Overall, I do have to say it checks all the boxes, so let's kind of get into how it's held up over the 2 years and 2020. First, let's talk about build quality. Overall, I do have to say this device has held up quite well. I've dropped it quite a few times with and without a case, even though all the time it has a screen protector on. I do have a few dings here and there on the rim of the phone where the paint is, and it's kind of chipped off, but overall it's held up really well. On the back, I think I have a few scratches here and there, but overall I'm not surprised by it due to how I've used the phone. Most of the time I do have a case on it, and pretty much 99% of the time I do have my screen protector installed. When this phone first came out, there was a lot of controversy over the phone screen because it was an LCD panel and it was less than 1080p resolution. Surprisingly, the screen is actually very good quality, and I think if you're not comparing them side by side between the Pro models and the regular models, you're not going to be experiencing too much of a difference. Only thing is, if you're coming from a device with a really high resolution, you might notice the difference, and also especially if you're coming from an OLED screen. But overall, the screen has held up really well as far as the performance. I noticed when the iPhone 11 came out that it was punchier in colors and brighter, but I'm not really too upset with the screen, and I decided to live with it because of the $300 savings. So what about the battery life? I know a lot of people want their phone to last all day, and this phone definitely lasted all day. It's basically at 89% health now, and it does kind of struggle here and there to last a full day, but overall the standby time is really great. It's just not the same as before, where it used to last me sometimes into the second day. I used to get a day to a day and a half of battery, even with quite heavy usage. The battery isn't too big of an issue for me because it's only going to be $70 or $80 to get the battery replaced instead of purchasing a new phone. So overall, I think you'll be fine with this, and so if you're going to be having this device for 2 or 3 years, I don't think you're going to have too many issues there. Another issue that some people had with this device when it first came out was the 3 gigabytes of RAM as opposed to the 4 in the Pro models. Overall, I do have to say that I haven't ran into too many issues. Sometimes you will get those issues where the apps need to refresh, but I think the extra 2 or 3 seconds that it takes to refresh the app was worth the $300 in savings I originally went for. I do have to say that when you refresh the app, sometimes it does get annoying, but it is not that common. It's not like every single time you go back to use an app, it's going to be refreshed in the background. It will usually hold quite a few apps in the background. It's just when if you open up more intensive apps, then it kind of starts shutting down the more intensive apps in the background, or if you haven't opened it in a while. As we all know, we all love taking pictures on our phone, whether it's for Instagram or to post online somewhere else on Facebook, or just to send it to our family and friends. This camera will actually perform quite well. It's going to be performing similar, if not a little bit better than the iPhone SE. It does have portrait mode, which is really nice, but it does only work on people. It doesn't work on animals or objects. So that's something to keep in mind, but I think that is the same as the iPhone SE. With the iPhone XR, I think if you're going for that price point, you're not going to be upset with the camera quality because it's still going to be a very good camera, and it might even beat out some of the Android offerings at that price point. So can this device function in 2020 as your daily driver? I think it can, and this is mainly because it does offer a very great value. It is quite powerful, and it's a nice big 6.1 inch screen with the newer iPhone design scheme. And for only $100 more than the iPhone SE, I think you can't really beat this deal because you're getting a brand new iPhone from Apple for only $499. With this device, you're not going to get the latest and greatest specs or features, but overall, you do not have to worry about the software updates as you do with a lot of Android phones. Apple supports their hardware and their software for quite a bit of time, so you don't really have to worry about not getting the latest version of iOS or getting the newest features. Over time, it will slow down the phone, but I don't think you're going to have to worry about that for at least 3 years with the iPhone XR, and even then, you're going to be getting software updates in the future. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. I just wanted to do a quick video going over the iPhone XR and what I think it can handle in 2020 and whether it's going to be worth the purchase in 2020. I think if you're definitely looking at that $499 price point, this is going to be a great device for you, and I don't think you're going to be upset at it. If you can spend the extra $100, then maybe the iPhone 11 is better for you for a better camera and having the night mode features. That's it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one, and don't forget to take it easy with some tea.